welcome to the New York City apartment hunting video. This one will be specifically for Manhattan. If you're new here, my name is Nitisha and I'm moving to the city by myself and in Chape. This will be my first time living in the city and also living by myself as well. I've been watching New York City apartment hunting videos for years and I love watching these kind of videos, so I'm so excited to finally create one. And after watching so many videos, I thought I was fully prepared. I think apartment hunting in general is very stressful, but the New York City is at a whole different level. So in this video, I'll walk you guys through the entire apartment hunting process, including the price, location, what paperwork was needed. I think it'll be beneficial for folks who are new to the New York City rental market. So winter time, October to April, is considered as off-peak season. Not a lot of people are moving to the New York City, inventory is less, and also the rental price are a bit cheaper compared to peak season. Even though it's off-peak season, the market is still very competitive. Like, I would send an inquiry to the broker, I would be waiting for the broker to respond, and by then the apartment is already off market. So I can't imagine how summertime is. So May to September is considered as peak season. So during that time, a lot of people are moving to the city. There's a lot more inventory, and at the same time, prices are pretty high and it's very competitive. So I was very grateful that my apartment hunting process was during off season. In that way, there was less competition and price, I think, was reasonable. Just a quick disclaimer, please don't come after me about the prices. With the same price, I'm fully aware that in other states or in areas, you can get like a whole house or 2-bedroom apartment or a big 1-bedroom apartment with washer, dryer, and dishwasher in unit. But it's not the city. That's why the prices varies. I just turned 33 and I know if I don't move to the city right now, I will never end up doing it. Currently, I don't have that much responsibility beside myself and Chape. Like, I don't have a partner, I don't have kids. I know people in their 30s tend to move away from the city and I'm doing the opposite, but I do know when I look back in life I would end up regretting it, so I think this is the right time to do it. So I feel like timing wise it's like perfectly aligned, stepping into 2023 with this new chapter, new beginning. I use both Zillow and StreetEasy. For my back and forth with the broker, I use Zillow. Every time I found an apartment that I'm interested in, I would look it up in StreetEasy as well. For some reason, StreetEasy, majority of times, would have video, like a YouTube video. So I would check both, and also while looking for apartments, I would use map mode. In that way, when you nail down what location you're interested in, it's so much easier to look for apartments. Sometimes if the video is not available, I would ask the broker if they could send me a video, a 3D virtual tour, or even like a floor plan, and I thought that was very helpful. In that way, I know upfront that that apartment is not for me and I don't waste my time. So my current lease ends 12/31, so I was looking for something that is 12/16 or later. I really wanted to avoid moving during the holiday season. I was open to 12/1 move-in date as well, but that would really depend on the unit. So I started looking at apartments mid-October, and that was so early. So the apartments that were available mid-October, it was for October, like end of October move-in. Then I started looking around first week of November, and that also was early. They only had early to mid-November move-in dates available, nothing for December. So I would recommend to start looking seriously like 2.5 weeks to 2 weeks prior to your move-in date. You can start looking before that as well, just to get a rough idea of the area, the price point. There might be a location that you really like, but based on the price, you might just get a shoebox apartment. But with the same price, if I look at a different area, I might be able to afford a bigger apartment. So location drives the price point a lot. And if you're not familiar with the area, maybe go visit and see if you would like living in the area, because visiting versus living is very different. I would recommend to avoid touristy areas. And also if you have friends and families who are familiar with the area, talk to them to get an idea as well. So my sister Patricia, she worked in the city for quite some time, and also she did her grad school there. So she helped me tremendously with this apartment hunt. She would send me different listings, come with me at the viewing, give feedback, and also from commute perspective, she would pinpoint what location would make sense. So the application fee is $20. Only one place, which was kind of weird. There was an application fee for $20, but at the same time they requested for a security deposit as well, even before signing the lease. So if my application doesn't get approved, they would refund the deposit. If my application approves and for some reason I back out, they won't refund the deposit. Once the application gets approved, the management will send over the lease, and once lease is signed, you would pay the security deposit. Security deposit is typically 1 month rent, and they will hold on to that money till the end. So once you move out, they would inspect the apartment, and for some reason, if there are any damages, they would deduct that amount from the security deposit, and remaining they would give it back to you. And then you have to pay your first month rent. And the third is the broker fee. The usual is around 15 to 20% of the annual rent, not monthly rent, annual. My jaw dropped when I found about it. So just to give an idea of how crazy the broker fee is, so let's say the apartment monthly rent is $2,200, so the annual rent would be $26,400, and if we take the minimum broker fee, it would be $3,960. It's more than 1 month rent, and it's just crazy. They just show you the apartment around. All the hard work is done by you, but there are apartments without broker fee as well, but that's typically not the norm. New York City requirements are really stringent. They are looking for tenants that make 40% of the monthly rent in annual income, and also a credit score of above 675. If you meet both the requirements, then you're good. If not, then there are alternate solutions like getting a guarantor. However, for guarantor, the guarantor salary must be 80 times of the monthly rent in annual income. So in terms of supporting documents, you need 2 recent pay stubs, 2 recent bank statements, recent tax return, copy of your photo ID, and in some cases they ask for an employment letter as well. I'm looking for 1 bedroom or a studio apartment. I really wanted the layout to be in a way where I can designate different areas like kitchen space, office space, especially since I work from home majority of the times. I go to the office twice or once a week. Next is location. I was looking for apartments in Upper East Side, Upper West Side, Hell's Kitchen, Lenox Hill, Chelsea, Soho, NoHo, Midtown. So it was pretty broad, but one criteria was that it needs to be very close to the express train. Since I work in New Jersey, I didn't want my commute to be super long. Even though it's either twice or once a week, I still want it to be bearable. My budget for monthly rent is $2,200. I was okay stretching till $2,400 if the unit is really good, and preferably no broker fee. I really wanted good storage space and also the living area to be spacious. My family, my parents, they still live back in Nepal, so when they visit, they typically visit for like a month, 2 months. So I did want spacious living area. In that way, when they visit, they can stay at my place as well, and it's not like all cramped. Next criteria is natural light. Since I film YouTube videos, I do want good natural light. It's not just for filming, it's for my mental health as well, especially during winter. The whole apartment does not need to be well lit. One of the non-negotiable for the apartment is it needs to be pet friendly. Other nice things to have, I would love a washer dryer in unit or in the building, and a dishwasher as well. But I'm fully aware with the price point I have that would not be the case. It would be a very rare instance. And the other one is I do want the apartment to have like a fireplace or moldings on the wall, big windows, tall ceilings, French door. I inquired about so many apartments, but I ended up seeing, I think, 15 apartments in total. So let's get started with the section of the video that you guys been waiting for. The first apartment we saw was a studio apartment in Hell's Kitchen. It was listed for $2,195 and there was no broker fee, and it was 1 story up. The studio apartment was very small and dark. The apartment was north facing and the windows faced the garden. There were 2 closets. It was decent sized closet, and then a fireplace. Both the kitchen and bathroom were decent size. It's the living space. Living space is so small. Even the broker told me that this apartment would be perfect for someone who would just come here to sleep, and that's it. They don't spend that much time in the apartment. The kitchen has some counter space that could double as a dining area as well. It has a medium-sized fridge, which I don't think so would be an issue for 1 person. So after each apartment tour, we'll be rating the apartment. So let's rate in 1, 2, and 3. 2. It's very small, dark,
And I think winter time, I'll be so depressed because there's no natural sunlight.
Also, the area is not that great.
Yeah, the area is not a big fan of it. Nope, I don't think so. I'm walking late at night, like walking Chape, or even like coming back, I wouldn't feel safe at all. So,
Second apartment we viewed was a true one-bedroom apartment in Upper West Side. As soon as you enter on the left side, there's a very weird corner. It's narrow and long. I would use that for storage or for keeping my shoes. And right next to that corner is the bathroom. Bathroom is again decent sized bathroom, and the living space is very spacious. Kitchen is small, it doesn't have much counter space, but I'm okay with that. I could get like a kitchen island or something. The bedroom is a bit small, but it can fit a full bed. I think queen bed would make the space a bit tight. It did have good closet space, and also there is space on the top as well that was pretty deep. I could definitely store my suitcases up there. The bedroom has big windows, but the windows are facing the garden, and also the wall of the next building is kind of closed. It does block natural light. I really like the layout of the apartment, and mentally it was very easy to visualize how I would be able to distinguish different spaces. And the apartment is spacious as well, but it did not get enough natural light.
1, 2, and 3, 6.
5.
I think earlier I thought it was higher, but after eating lunch, I think it's a 6. It's one bedroom apartment. It's within my range, but it's dark, very dark.
Next apartment we saw was in a rent stabilized building. I believe the rent was $1,800 and there was no broker fee. For the first day we got super lucky. All the apartment we saw did not have broker fee. Apartment was really small. Size wise it was almost the same as the first one, but it did not have any closet space at all. And the windows are facing the garden, so not much natural light.
1, 2, and 3. 3.
1.
That was literally like a closet. No.
Yeah. There's no closet.
Yeah, there's no closet actually.
The restroom was very tiny.
Yep.
It was very tiny.
Yep. As soon as I entered, like I was like, I think we can leave from here.
Floors are very uneven.
We started our second day of apartment hunting in Lenox Hill. This one is a studio apartment. I think it was listed for $2,250 and the broker fee was around 16% of the annual rent. This one is a first floor studio apartment. It's very dark. The apartment did have good closet space. The kitchen has this arch structure on the top. I did like how the arch separates the kitchen and the living area. I think that was the only plus point for this apartment, and the bathroom is a decent size as well.
So we went to see only one apartment, but then the broker had a couple of apartments available that's not listed on the market yet. So the first one we saw, it was really dark. It had the arch and separation of the living space and the kitchen, but it was very dark. So what's our rating for the first one? 1, 2, and 3. 3. It's dark.
The next apartment we saw was in Lenox Hill as well. I think this was 3 or 4 story up. They were quoting $2,250 and the broker fee was around 16% of the annual rent. Layout wise is almost the same as the previous one, but the kitchen is a bit bigger and the apartment is brighter as well, and the bathroom is well lit because of the skylight. There were 2 closet space, one in the living area and then one in the kitchen as well. But the kitchen floor is tilted. If I tried to roll a coin, the coin would easily roll down. Since the floor is tilted, the arch is tilted as well, and that just gave it away that the building is not well maintained.
1, 2, and 3. 3. That one also has an arch separation of the living space as well as kitchen, but it has slanted floors.
Next apartment we saw was in the same area as well. It was listed for $2,450 and broker mentioned that we could negotiate up to $2,400 and the broker fee was regular 16% of the annual rent. You know, you hear about apartments in New York City where the shower is in the kitchen or in the bedroom. I had the honor to see one of these apartments. So the shower is in the kitchen and the bathroom sink is in the kitchen as well. So the toilet is on its own and luckily it has a door. It's very small. Like once you sit, there isn't any space to move around, and once you're done using the toilet, you will have to come outside to the kitchen to wash your hands. And the living area is right next to the tree, so during summertime, waking up with a view would be so calming. I think the unit is 5 story up and faces the back, so you can't really hear anything. The apartment has like a small room. I would call it as a den, but it has a door. I would have used that as closet space and office. I Forgot to mention, this unit does not have any closets. One thing that I really like about this apartment is that there are windows in every room, so the apartment feels very lively and bright.
1, 2, 3, 7.
4. I can't get past the restroom in the kitchen. A shower in the kitchen concept.
Weird.
Actually, I guess 5.
Yeah.
I do like how bright the apartment is, natural light. So
Uh-huh.
I'll give 1 bonus point extra for that.
Harsh rating.
There's no closet.
Oddly, I'm okay with the layout just because of the sunlight.
The next apartment I saw was in the same Lenox Hill area as well. It was listed for $2,400 and broker fee was the standard 16% of the annual rent. It is a true 1-bedroom with 2 closets, and the bedroom and the living room is separated by these gorgeous French doors. It's just that it did not get enough natural sunlight at all. The windows in the bedroom is facing another building. It's not right next to each other, but the building is tall, so it obstructs natural light. There's one more window in the living room as well as in the bathroom, but it faces the wall, and the wall is right next to the building, and the living room and kitchen is separated by the arch. Natural light wise, there wasn't much at all. I think this was the most beautiful layout I've seen in this entire apartment hunting series. The unit is 5 flights up, and I forgot to mention, for all the apartments I saw in Lenox Hill, for some reason the stairs are so steep and narrow. By the end of it, my knees were hurting. So I think at the end, none of these apartments working out was a good thing, especially for my knees.
1, 2, and 3, 7.
6. Apartment is very nice, but it's very dark.
Yeah.
I like the layout of it. I like the old French door. I like the art in the kitchen, but it's very dark.
I think I'll be depressed if I live there, for sure. This was one of the most beautiful apartments I've seen so far in this apartment hunting.
All of them are in the same area and the neighborhood is very nice. I guess I should have considered location to have rated higher.
Next unit we saw was in Midtown East area. This one was listed for $2,400, and I think broker fee was around 16 to 18% of the annual rent. So the unit was being renovated. It has good closet space. Kitchen has newer appliances. Bathroom was an okay sized bathroom as well. It's just it didn't get enough natural light. Beside the living space being very small, it just didn't give good vibes. It just didn't feel homely at all. The price makes sense because it's a doorman building, there's washer dryer in the building, and it's an elevator building as well.
1,
Which one? Oh, this
2, and 3.
5. Well, 5 because it's doorman building. So security, has elevator, has laundry in the apartment building, and the location too, it's in main location so and close to the train stations and not ground floor.
Even if there is like natural sunlight, it would still be a no for this one. It just didn't like the vibe.
So the apartment I saw was in Lenox Hill, and it was listed for $2,350. For this, the broker fee was 1 month rent. As soon as you enter, there's an open living space, and it has 2 closets as well. One closet is really deep, like I could literally fit a whole desk in it. So the apartment did get enough natural light and has this exposed white bricks, and I'm a sucker for these kind of details. It's just the floors are so creaky, and it's next to a very busy street. The apartment has built-in shelf, and there's enough space in the kitchen. The kitchen also has the exposed bricks, and the bathroom is a decent size as well.
For today's viewing, I'm viewing it by myself. My sister couldn't join because it's Friday, she's working, I'm off. It's my birthday today. My rating is 4 out of 10. So the apartment is spacious. It's right next to a very busy street, so I won't be able to film from there. It's just very noisy.
The next apartment I saw was in Hell's Kitchen area, and this one was very close to Port Authority. It was listed for $2,295, but the broker did mention that I could negotiate it to $2,200, and the broker fee was around 15 to 16% of the annual rent. This is a studio apartment with a small den, and the living area is decent size with the kitchen, and the kitchen also has counter space, which is very rare. For all the other apartments I've seen, kitchen counters are non-existent. It has a very small den that would fit a full bed. I think Once the bed is there isn't much space to move around. The closet size is decent and there's storage on top of the closet as well. The apartment has fire escape, and on the window there's areas where I can put my plants as well. One thing I noticed was that the ceilings are short, so it did make the apartment look smaller. I almost applied to this apartment because of the natural sunlight. It's literally sun-drenched. It feels very therapeutic, and also it felt homey as well. So the apartment was very close to Port Authority, so commute-wise it would be very hectic. But the street the apartment is on, it was very quiet. I could barely hear anything from the unit. And also there are a lot of good restaurants around the area as well, just like a block down.
I really like the second unit. It has the separation for the living space as well as for the bedroom. It gets so much of natural light. That's the huge point. And there was another guy waiting to see the apartment as well, so my competition. Yeah, this one I have a very good feeling about it. From out of 10, I would rate this 7.
Next apartment I saw was in Hell's Kitchen as well, and it was like 2 streets down from the previous one. It was listed for $2,275, and I think the broker fee was 15 to 16% off the annual rent. This apartment is a 4-story walk-up and was marketed as a 1-bedroom apartment, which I do not consider as a 1-bedroom. This is more a studio with a loft space. Bedroom windows are street facing and it gets good amount of natural light. So there are 2 closets in the bedroom, but one of the closet is so weird. So instead of the rod being on the middle, it's like this on the side, and there's nothing in the middle. And that's just for one closet. The other closet is regular. It has rod in the middle, and both the closets are very narrow. It did have more storage space on the top of the closet as well. The living room gets good amount of light from the bedroom as well, and it's right next to the kitchen, which is tiny. It's basically non-existent. Bathroom is decent size. It also has a loft area. It was very hard to get up. I would mainly use it for storage, and it also has additional storage space on the top as well. Overall, from a layout perspective, it was pretty good.
It's just I did not get like a good vibe. It just didn't feel homely. Not just the building, the unit as well. I forgot to rate the earlier apartment. I just remember right now while I was sipping on my tea. Out of 10, I would rate it like 4.5. Just because of the vibe. For the price, I think it was really good.
So the next apartment I saw was one of my favorite. I think it was listed for $2,250. The broker had mentioned that the broker fee would be around 15 to 16%, but it may increase up to 18% if there is demand. And for this unit, there was demand. The broker did mention she had received, I think, 3 applications already, and she ended up asking for 18%. And it makes sense why the apartment was popular. It's a good sized studio apartment. Kitchen is big. It has good counter space and also a small area for dining as well. It has multiple mirrors. So there's one mirror right next to the main door, and then one mirror in the living room, as well as another one in the bedroom. So it gave an illusion of the apartment to be bigger than it is. The apartment is really spacious. There is space for office, bedroom, even a clothing rack, a small living room, and then the living space and the kitchen is separated by this arch. It's on the first floor, but it's not eye level to the street. So it's 1 story up, and even though it was on a busy street, I couldn't hear that much of noise in the unit.
This apartment, I would give almost an 8, like 7.5, 8. Apartment is big for studio apartment, and I can easily distinguish out different areas as well, like living space versus dining area versus office, and has good closet space as well. And location is great too. I feel like this might be it.
I almost applied for this apartment, but at the end I didn't. So for this unit, broker had mentioned that I would need to pay 1 month security deposit upfront. No other brokers have asked for a security deposit upfront. And also I wanted to see the apartment during daytime, and what the broker had mentioned was she has received enough applications, and I just couldn't say yes to the apartment when I didn't see it during daytime. It started to feel off after that, you know, so I just had to go with my gut and let this apartment slide. So now coming to the final apartment. So this is the apartment I ended up selecting. This actually I saw it the first day of apartment hunting itself. So the first time when I saw the apartment, it wasn't listed in the market yet. I think it was listed after a week and a half or almost 2 weeks from that date. So after seeing it for the first time, I didn't apply right away. I felt I wasn't ready to commit to it yet since I hadn't really shopped around. I think the apartment was listed in the market after a week and a half or 2 weeks from the first time I saw it. So when the apartment was listed, the day off, my sister found the listing and she forwarded it to me, and she was like, if you really want this apartment, apply right away. So I put in my application the very next day and it got approved the same day itself, and then I ended up signing the lease I think within 3 days. And yeah, and also location wise, it's in a prime location. There are a lot of restaurant options available, nice park, and also for commute, it's near express trains as well. So it hit majority of my criteria. So now, drum roll please. So this apartment is a true 1-bedroom apartment and is spacious. As soon as you enter, there's a big living area, and on the right hand side is the bedroom. Bedroom is decent size with these big windows, and I love the details on the window as well. It has good closet space and has storage on the top as well. I think a queen bed can fit in the bedroom, but if I end up getting a queen bed, I think there wouldn't be much space to move around at all. So the living room window faces the inside of the building, so not much natural light from that window. The kitchen is tiny, but it does have a full fridge. Counter space is non-existent, but I do think I can make it work with a kitchen island. It has a loft space on the top. I would use it for storage. Broker did mention that the previous tenant was using the loft as a guest room, and the bathroom is big and has more storage as well.
1, 2, and 3. 8.
7.
I really like the third one. It could be it. It's just that it's on the first floor. That's the only hesitation. It's actually 1 bedroom. It's spacious. It's big. It could be it.
I'm inside my apartment. It's official. I am moving to New York City. I am shaking. Finally did the thing. I moved to New York City. So overall, at the end, I end up getting this unit because of the location, storage space, high ceiling, big windows, and the next is the layout as well. I can easily create different spaces within the apartment. So there were a couple of things I had to compromise as well. The apartment is street facing, so I can hear the traffic on the street, and since it's on the first floor, I do hear the main door being unlocked at the same time things being delivered. But overall, I thought it wasn't that bad and it shouldn't impact my filming. Overall, I'm very happy with the decision and I can't wait to start this next chapter of my life. I really hope you guys found this video helpful. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think about my final decision. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe and support the channel. There'll be a lot of apartment decoration content, moving vlog, New York City vlog. If you have an Instagram, my Instagram is Tisha Shrestha, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.